Hello everyone, my name is Usman Hanif. I am a student of MSc Management. Welcome to the presentation day. The title of research is During a COVID-19, does online collaborations activities lead to collaborative overload and employee burnout evident from the private sector? So this is the title of the research. So first of all, now I want to introduce about this topic. So my first slide is introductions. We start from introductions. So first slide is introductions. With the advent of internet-based technologies and remote work arrangements, many businesses have transitioned from traditional in-house employees to more distributed workforces utilizing online tools to handle most of the work. Consequently, online applications for employees' collaborations are extensively utilized. Additionally, due to COVID-19 pandemic reliance of the business sector, internet-based collaborations tools has increased. So the business sector has been increased on the internet based group collaborations tools since COVID-19. This research used the secondary data entailing through a read of most recent publication in the subject. As the result, I used the secondary data that has proved to a good technique for choosing the appropriate data. To learn more about the excessive data, good technique for choosing the appropriate data for the more about the excessive use of the digital communications device impact the efficiency with the coworker interact and if they increase the danger of burnout. So the second slide is research question about this research. What effect do online collaboration activities have on a collaborative overburden of private sector workers in the UK during the COVID-19? And the second question is, what effect does collaborative overload during the COVID-19 have on our employee burnout and the UK private sector? And the third question is, what private organisation in the United Kingdom done to combat collaborative overload and staff burnout during the time of COVID-19? So the important thing is the research aim. The aim of this research is, given the extensive use of online applications by employees for communications and the teamwork, this study seeks to investigate the impact of excessive utilization of online collaboration tools on a team members' ability to collaborate effectively. And the second cheese is, additionally, the study aimed to determine if increase the process of high risk of burnout, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. And other slide is research objective to examine the principle of effects of online collaboration software on the collaborative overloading at the time of COVID-19 using the private sector of United Kingdom as a evidence. And the second objective is to explore the association among the collaborative overload with employees burnout in the UK private sector during the time of COVID-19. And third objective is to determine what further techniques are needed by analyzing the strategies taken by the private corporations during the COVID-19 manage the online communication activities and to reduce the staff burnout and the collaborative overload. Now, next slide is data collection. The qualitative data, systematic literature review technique, and pre-reviewed article taken from two databases, Global Scholar and the Scopes. Research publication between 2017 and 2023 selected and chosen keyword and the chosen word from the topic and in collision ex-collision criteria applied and Prisma flow chart 30 of 72 studies included in the final analysis. And the scopes is the we want to use two database. One is a scholar, global scholar, and the scopes. And the scopes is the most comprehensive database of the reference, and the scopes has the tool that can track and display the research finding. Through global scholar is the increasing being used in analytic literature reviewed, and scopes remain the largest database. And the research public between 2017 and 2023 were the primary focus at the systematic literature reviewed and control the proper methodology before, during, the after the coronavirus is pandemic. And in collision and ex-collision, next I want to show in the tables all of these details in collision and ex-collision criteria. Several key words were the chosen, and after the playing in collision and ex-collision criteria, complete these studies were found that contain the chosen keyword and the chosen word from the topic of study purpose. And 72 research met of the criteria after research and database scopes. After through the we will show in this tables, after through examination 30 articles, three major themes were identified within identification with the use of secondary data, and we show first finding the discussions in these graphs, articles per years and article per journals. We show our details in the second slide is themes identifications. After through examination 30 articles and three major themes identified. First one is online teams work and workplace overburden in COVID-19, and second is COVID-19 work-related stress, and third is collaborative overload and burnout solution by the use of secondary data. In these themes, one question is arising that the answer was answered by the central themes, and the result was uniformly positive and substantial. And COVID-19 and second themes, we show in all this table. In second themes, uh, these themes, which is 10 article out of total 30, examine the fallout of jobs related to stress and tensions by the various COVID-19 and private sector professional during after the period. The aim of this question theme stress workplace has negative effect on employees performance and employee burnout in COVID-19. And the theme third is collaborative overload and burnout solutions. 9 of 30 papers group in these themes. According to this study finding, due to the COVID-19, most people were compelled to work from home, and the result implied that the professional physical and mental health were significantly changed due to the treatment from home. Now next slide is conclusion. COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown measured the significantly impact of mental health and social interactions and behavior. and females are more affected than males. Collaborative leaderships, government business, private enterprises, coordinations, and digital tools are key factors in a successful pandemic response. And excessive collaborations and work overload can lead to burnout and exhaustion in some sectors. Collaborative communications and activities play a role in mitigating negative effect, and collaborative digital tools have a positive impact on well-being, just satisfaction and productivity, but prolonged remote work increase the techno stress and reduce the subjective well-beings. Collaborative burnout strongly correlate with the intentions to leave one's jobs and field of child welfare. Online collaborative activities increased during the pandemic, but virtual communications tools and not a complete re- replacement for in-person interactions. Inexperience of the professional with offering the digital and telephonic psychotherapy treatment from home has a significant impact on their physical and health, and they lay on a emotional and institutional support curve. And the next slide is recommendations. Conducting research on the impact of virtual communications tool on productivity, job satisfactions, and well-being can provide the valuable insight in the principal effects of online collaboration software on the collaborative overloading. And the next step is research on the effective interventions such as organization support can help identify such strategies to reduce burnout among the healthcare professionals and essential workers, which can then be applied to private sector during the COVID-19 pandemic. By conducting research on the impact of techno stress on the remote workers and the effectiveness of organizational support in mitigating its effects, we can determine further techniques needed by analyzing the strategies taken by private corporations during the COVID-19 to manage the repercussions of online communications activities and reduce staff burnout and the collaborative overload. And other slide is reflections of these assignments. The research on the impact of online collaborations tools on productivity, job satisfactions, and well-being can help inform the development of interventions aimed and at reducing collaborative overload during the COVID-19 pandemic. The investigation of effective interventions to mitigate burnout and promote well-being can provide the guidance to the private corporations and how to manage the negative effect of COVID-19 and imply the mental health and well-being. The study of technostress impact on the remote workers and the effectiveness of the organization sports can provide the insights in the strategies for managing the negative repercussions of online communications activities during the pandemic. Research on the collaborative leadership in the pandemic response can provide the guidance on how to integrate the government, businesses, and private sector to manage the negative effect of COVID-19 on employees in the private sector. The study of effective interventions for lockdown mental health impacts such as a therapy and social support can provide the guidance to provide to private corporations on how to manage the mental health effects of COVID-19 and reduce burnout and collaborative overload and among the employees. So next slide is bibliography. In bibliography, we mention all references of is mentioned in this list. All of references are mentioned in this list. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you so much.